Good morning, student. Welcomes you all on Topper Prime channel. Today I am coming here with my new video and new topic. Topic name is microorganism and viruses. They are friend and foe both for us. So very first we try to understand the meaning of microorganism. What is the meaning of microorganism? The living organism which we cannot seen by the naked eye are called microorganism, or simply we can say microbes. Some of them we can see with the help of magnifying glass or microscope. It means they are very small, and with naked eye we are not able to see this, so we are using to viewing this microorganism a simple microscope. So very first we try to understand what are the general characteristic of microorganism. Microorganism as a single cell or multicell means the unicellular or multicellular organism. Second, microorganisms are very small in size. These cannot be seen with the naked eye. So, for viewing these microorganisms, we use the microscope, and that's why they are the microorganism. They are found everywhere, in air, in water, in soil. Soil means in desert soil also, and in marshy soil also, and they are found inside the body of other living organism. They are capable to exist in extreme temperature. It means at high temperature, at very high temperature, and at very low temperature. At extreme temperature, these microorganisms they can survive by forming a hard layer around their body, and that layer is known as the cyst. Some microorganisms are helpful to us, whereas many of them are harmful because they cause many diseases. Microorganism mainly we classify into four category. Very first is the bacteria, second one is fungi, third one is algae, and fourth one is protozoa. Some specific shape of bacteria is given here. Very first is bacilli, second is spirilla, and third one is cocci. Here these are the example of fungi. These are the example of fungi, and fungi example is here. Very first, this one is bread mold, and this one is penicillium. Next one is aspergillus. Same here. This one is calamidomonas. This one is nostoc, and this one is oscillatoria. All these are example of fungi. Now fourth category protozoa. This example of, is amoeba. Next one, this one is paramecium, and this one is euglena. All these are the characteristic of different type of microorganism, or picture of different type of microorganism. Now we are study here some general characteristic of viruses. Viruses is also a type of microorganism, and they have the characteristic of both living and non-living organism. Whenever they enter the body of their host, they behave like a living organism. What are the main feature? Viruses inhabit and reproduce only inside the cell of living organism. That living organism may be plant, animal, and human being. They obtain their food from the host cell. They are very small in size, and virus cannot be seen by a simple microscope, so we are using an electron microscope. Why we are using electron microscope here? Because their size is very small. Their size is between 0.015 micron to 0.2 micron. These are the shape and example of the virus. Influenza virus, as we can see on the page, vaccinia virus, bacteriophage, and the structure of HIV, which cause the AIDS in human being, tobacco mosaic virus, and adenovirus. All these are the different type of virus, and all the viruses have different shape. The next we study habitat of microorganism. Habitat of microorganism means where they are found. Actually, these microorganisms are found everywhere, and they can live in all type of habitat, like in air, water, in soil, in dead and decaying organic matter, inside the body of animal and humans. Some microorganisms grow on other microorganisms, while some other exist freely. Means some live in colony and some live alone, like amoeba. Amoeba live alone, and fungi and bacteria they may live in colonies. Now we study how these microorganisms are friendly for us and how they are harmful for us. Means some microorganism, they give their help to us, and some act like an enemy. Means they are harmful for us. So very first we are discussing here friendly microorganism. What is the meaning of friendly microorganism? The microorganism which are useful for us are called friendly microorganism, and these microorganism are useful in certain area, like in preparation of curd, bread and cake. Whenever we make these things, we have the use of microorganism. In production of alcohol we produce with the help of fungi, and in cleansing of environment by breaking down the organic waste into harmless and usable substances, in the preparation of certain medicine, in the agriculture for improving the soil fertility. So these are the main areas where these bacteria or microorganism act like friend to us. So very first we discuss here making of curd and bread. What is the name of bacteria that help us to make curd from the milk? The name of that bacteria is lactobacillus, which promote the formation of curd from milk. The bacterium rennin is used in cheese production. Here two bacteria discussed. One is lactobacillus, which we use for the formation of curd from milk, and second one bacterium is rennin that we use in cheese production. Next, yeast is used in the preparation of bakery product, bread and cake. Both these are bakery product, and for making these product yeast is used. Yeast is a type of fungi, and in other item also we use the yeast, like for making the idli, dosa, dokla. In all these we use the yeast. Yeast cause fermentation of dough. What is dough? Dough is a mixture of all ingredient, and when the dough increase, they liberate one gas, carbon dioxide, because at that time yeast is respire, and when yeast respire, they release the CO2 gas, and which make the dough to rise. On baking and heating, the dissolved CO2 escape, making the food item porous and fluffy. So this is the use of microorganism for making of curd and bread. The second use is here commercial use of microorganism. Certain microorganisms are used in industry. What is the meaning of commercial? Means the microorganism which we use in industry to manufacture something. So for here the commercial use, where we use alcohol from sugar or starch. We prepare alcohol with the help of sugar or starch, but here yeast is required for this process, and wine from fruit juice by a process called fermentation. Very first we try to understand what is the meaning of fermentation. What is fermentation? The enzymatic breakdown of large organic molecule into smaller one, but in absence of air, is called fermentation. For example, here sugar. Sugar is a large organic molecule, and in presence of enzyme what? Gymase. Where this present? This enzyme is present in the body of yeast. So in the presence of this enzyme that present in the body of yeast, sugar is converted into glucose and fructose. Then again one enzyme act on glucose, and this time the glucose is converted into ethyl alcohol and CO2. So this is fermentation. The second use of the microorganism is medicinal use. What is the medicinal use? It means in medical field also we are using the microorganism. Antibiotic, already you listened the name. What is the use of antibiotic? Antibiotic is used to treat the infection in humans as well as in animals, and these antibiotic we prepare from the microorganism only. Mainly the two microorganism we used here, one is the bacteria and second one is fungi. Antibiotic should be taken only on the advice of a qualified doctor. These are the suggestion. Do not take antibiotic if not needed, and antibiotic not required may kill the beneficial helpful bacteria. Very first here we try to understand the meaning of vaccine. What is a vaccine? A small dose of weakened or killed disease-causing microbes needed to immunize the body against a particular disease is called vaccine. Vaccine should be kept or stored at low temperature. It means here already a disease-causing organism, but that particular disease-causing organism in weakened and in inactive form present in the vaccine, and the same vaccine is injected in our body, and vaccine should be kept or stored at a low temperature. How does a vaccine work? Vaccine work how in our body? Question is this here. When our disease causing microbes enter our body, so the body produce antibodies to fight the invader. These antibiotics destroy the weakened microbes and remain in the blood to fight any further attack by such disease causing microbes. And children are more sensitive, so to protect them from any such harmful microbes, appropriate vaccine must be given at suitable age, and such vaccine are easily available in hospital and health center, as we can see in this table. Soon after birth, the vaccine which we provide, the smallpox and BCG. Then 4 to 9 months, in between 4 to 9 months, DPT, triple vaccine, 2 doses at an interval of 8 to 12 weeks, and then polio oral, 3 doses at an interval of 4 to 6 weeks. Then at the age of 1 year, we provide smallpox revaccination, because already one is given by us as soon after the birth. Then 1.5 and 2 year DPT booster dose and polio booster dose. 3 to 4 year smallpox revaccination, and 5 to 6 year DPT booster dose. Typhoid vaccine 2 dose at an interval of 1 to 2 months. So this is the use. This vaccine we prepare with the help of microorganism only. So here we can say कि some of the friendly microorganism that help us in different field of life. Next one is the microorganism is used to increasing the soil fertility. Here blue-green algae and some of the bacteria, they can fix the nitrogen gas in our environment into nitrogenous compound, and when these nitrogenous compound mix in the soil, they help to increase the fertility of the soil. It means the microorganism enrich the soil with nitrogen and increase its fertility. The next use of microorganism is cleansing the environment. How the microorganism, they clean our environment? Many of the microorganism, they help to us decompose the dead organic waste of plant and animal into simpler and harmless substances. Such simpler substance get into the soil and used by other plant. Thus microorganism act as the cleansing agent of the nature. Anaerobic bacteria. Anaerobic bacteria are those bacteria which can survive in absence of oxygen. Degrade the animal dung into biogas, and leftover slurry can be used as a manure. And this process we can do in biogas plant. Next one is harmful microorganism. Many of the microorganisms are harmful to human beings, for plants and for animals. And such microorganisms may cause disease in humans, plants and animal. And secondly, they spoil the food and cause the food poisoning in our body, and they spoil the clothing and leather also. So now we discuss here the disease causing microorganism and viruses. All animals and human beings at one time or other suffer from a disease, and these diseases are caused by microorganism. It means the microorganism causes disease, and a list of diseases here. Bacteria is a type of microorganism, already we classified. It causes the pneumonia, tetanus, tuberculosis, leprosy, cholera, food poisoning, typhoid and diphtheria. Fungi, it causes the skin disease and food poisoning. Protozoa causes malaria, kala jar, amoebic dysentery and giardias. Virus, it causes poliomyelitis, chickenpox, leukemia, AIDS, measles, conjunctivitis, rabies, dengue, hepatitis. So These disease causing microorganism are called pathogenic microorganism or simply as a pathogen. It means bacteria, fungi, protozoa and viruses. Because they causes disease in our body, that's why these are called pathogen. Pathogen disrupt the normal functioning of the body by attacking different part of the body. Now we study disease caused by microorganism and virus. The disease caused by microorganisms such as bacteria, fungi, viruses and protozoa are communicable or infectious disease. What is the meaning of communicable disease? The disease which get transmitted from one person to another by direct or indirect contact are called communicable or infectious disease, like TB, cholera, typhoid, malaria, dysentery are some of the common communicable disease. Communicable disease are transmitted through contaminated food, water, air, insect, infected cloth and utensils. Students, nowadays coronavirus is spreading. So the disease which is caused by the coronavirus is also a communicable disease because it also get transmitted through contaminated food, water, air, insect, infected clothes and utensils. So, what are the different mode of transmission of communicable disease? Here two mode, one is the direct transmission and one is the indirect transmission. Very first, how they transmit by direct transmission. So, very first is direct contact. The infection may be caused by direct skin to skin and mucosa to mucosa or mucosa to skin contact. And the disease which come under this direct contact is leprosy, eczema, conjunctivitis, it's a eye infection, are transmitted through direct contact. Second, by droplet infection. What is the meaning of droplet? Ki when an infected person sneeze in air, so the droplet of their mucosa or cough come outside. An infected person during coughing, sneezing, spitting and speaking may release droplet of moisture carrying the disease causing microorganism, and these droplet when enter another person's body while breathing may make him sick. So this is the direct transmission. Third one, by using infected needle or we can say syringe. Infection may also get directly transmitted through a bite or blood transfusion. What is the meaning of blood transfusion? The transfer of blood from one person to another person. So rabies virus enter the man body by a dog bite, and its virus may enter the body of person during blood transfusion. If any its related person donate its blood, and the blood that we transmitted in the body of another person, so that another person is also infected by the AIDS virus. So these are the direct method. Now we are discussing here indirect transmission. The disease causing microorganism may also enter the body of a person indirectly. How? Various mode of this indirect transmission also, like through infected food and water, through any carrier such as mosquito, housefly, rat and flea, through clothes, towel, handkerchief and personal utensils of patient, and through dirty hand or dirty utensils, unwashed fruits and vegetable. So very first we study here spread of disease by insect, because the first one is the through infected food and water. So very first here we study spread of disease by insect. Already we discussed कि many of the microorganism like bacteria, virus, fungi, protozoa, they causes the disease, and these microorganism enter our body either through air, water or food. And insect like flies, mosquitoes, cockroaches also spread disease by carrying the harmful microorganism on their feet and hair. Housefly feed and multiply on garbage, and human and animal excreta. Garbage and excreta are the most favorable places for the growth of disease causing microorganism. So, whenever these houseflies sit on the garbage or excreta, the harmful microorganism present there stick to their feet and hair, and when these flies sit on the food, these germs get transferred to the food and food thus get contaminated. So in this way, these flies, house flies, they causes the disease in a person. And when this contaminated food is eaten by someone, the germs enter his or her body and make the person sick. So in this way, these insects causes the disease in our body. Malaria, we all know, the spread by female Anopheles mosquito, and malaria is caused by the protozoans. What is the name of that? Plasmodium. Next we discuss here disease causing microorganism and viruses in human. Means which disease is caused by these microorganism and viruses in human being. Very first we can see in this table cholera. Cholera, the causative microorganism, means the microorganism which cause the cholera is the bacteria, and the transmission mode is water or food. If we take the dirty water, dirty food in which the bacteria is present, then it causes the cholera. What general preventive measure we can take here? Do not allow dirt, water and dust to accumulate in your surrounding. Second disease, tuberculosis. This is the full form of TB, and the causative microorganism is bacteria and transmission through air. General preventive measure, immunization with BCG vaccine. Typhoid is also caused by bacteria, transmission mode again water and air. How we can prevent themselves from the typhoid? Human waste and other excreta should be disposed of in a pit for away from the water sources and covered with sand. Next one is common cold. Causative organism is virus and transmission through air, so keep away from the patient. The common cold patient may quarantine themselves from other people. Next diseases, as we can see in the table, chicken and smallpox. Causative organism is virus and transmission through air contact. Measles is caused by virus. Polio also caused by virus. Hepatitis B is also caused by virus. Rabies by virus. And diarrhea and gastroenteritis is also caused by bacteria, fungi, toxins and intestinal parasite. So as you can see in this table, preventive measure is also given of all the diseases. Read them carefully and try how we can prevent themselves from different type of disease which caused by microorganism. Here some preventive measure is given by which we can prevent themselves from the diseases of microorganism and virus. So here mainly the 4 ways to protect ourselves against the disease caused by microorganism. Very first, by taking proper medicine to kill the disease causing microbes. Second, by killing the carrier of the disease causing microbes. Third, by preventing the growth of microbes around our house. Next, by protecting the food from contamination. So these are the major 4 ways that we can take against the disease caused by microorganism. Other are these. Easily we can understand. These are the easy point all. So read them. Next we study disease causing microorganism and viruses in animal. The last topic is disease causing microorganism in human, and this time we study the disease causing microorganism and viruses in animals. Animal we also know suffer from disease. So the disease of dairy animals are broadly classified into 3 categories. That is parasitic, infectious and non-infectious. An animal suffering from any disease show the following symptom: become inactive and stop taking food, watering in eyes and excessive secretion of saliva. Its milk yielding, egg yielding and working capacity get drastically reduced. Parasite get their food from the body of the animal and make it weak. Parasite may be of 2 types, external or internal. External parasites live on the skin and mainly cause skin diseases, and internal parasites such as worms, they live in stomach and intestine. So infectious disease here mainly caused by bacteria and viruses. We can see in the table. Disease name is pox, dermatitis, foot and mouth disease, cholera, diarrhea of chick, TB, rinderpest, anthrax. These are the diseases, and rinderpest is the most common disease in the cattle and very important from the competitive point of exam also. Here, symptom of foot and mouth disease. Animals suffering from foot and mouth disease show the following symptom. They show the excessive salivation. It means the excessive saliva come out from their mouth, reddish granules around the foot and the mouth of the cattle. So how we can prevent the animal from these diseases? By proper sanitation, by diet control, proper rest, use of veterinary services for diagnosing and treating the diseases, and excessive vaccination. Disease causing microorganism and viruses in plant. Many of the microorganism they causes the disease not only in the animal but in plant also, like in wheat, rice, another name is paddy, potato, sugarcane, orange, apple and cotton. So the crop diseases are transmitted. How transmitted? Through seeds. If we are using unhealthy seed, so the particular crop get diseased, and through air and soil. So some of the plant diseases easily we can see here. Very first is the plant disease rust. Second one is the smut. Both are the disease of the wheat, and the causal microorganism for this is the fungi. Next one, the next disease is here is the blast, citrus canker and yellow vein mosaic virus. Yellow vein mosaic virus, this is the disease of bhindi, and citrus canker is the disease of orange, and the blast, it is the disease of the paddy, rice. The causal microorganism is different for these. For blast, fungi, for citrus canker, bacteria, and for yellow vein mosaic is the virus. Next we study here about the food poisoning. What is the meaning of food poisoning? Food, if not stored properly and gets spoiled due to the action of enzyme present in the bacteria and fungi. These bacteria and fungi multiply fast in warm and humid condition by digesting the nutrient of the food and spoil the food. So whenever any person take this type of food into their body, so the food poisoning take place. What are the symptoms of the food poisoning? Headache, fever, vomiting and diarrhea. Food poisoning is caused by the microorganisms such as bacteria and fungi which present in spoiled food. And the common bacteria, this name is very important here, Salmonella, Staphylococci, Clostridium botulinum and Aspergillus. These are the mainly 4 bacteria which cause the poison in food, and the toxin produced in the food by these bacteria and fungi, the traces of pesticide, and the metal salt produced by the action of food with the material of the container or cooking utensils. So how we can preserve our food? There are different method of preserving the food. Very first, by cooling. The spoilage of food such as vegetable, meat, fruit, boiled milk, curd, cooked food can be prevented by keeping them at low temperature in refrigerator or deep freezer. Second one, by heating or cooling temperature. This is also known as pasteurization, and this is discovered by the Louis Pasteur. That's why the process name is pasteurization. It's an important method for food preservation. In this method, what we do, firstly, we heat the milk at about 60 to 65 degrees Celsius for about 30 minutes to kill the bacteria that present in it, and then cooling it quickly to prevent the remaining bacteria from growing. So the milk is then filled into sterilized bottle, otherwise in pouches. So this is the pasteurization, very important method. Next preservation method is by dehydration. Dehydration means removal of the water from fruit and vegetable is called dehydration. Actually, what happened due to this dehydration? Moisture content of the food reduce and it hampers the growth of the food spoiling microorganism. Next, by using salt and sugar, the presence of high concentration of salt, mainly 15 to 80%, remove water from the food material and this retard the bacterial growth to prevent the food spoilage. By using oil and vinegar, oil, citric acid, spices also act as a food preservative because they not permit bacteria to grow in this environment. Vegetables, fruit, meat, fish are generally preserved by this method. Next, by heating and canning. Heating food at 110 degrees Celsius for about 30 minutes kills all the food spoiling microorganism. The food material heated to kill the germs when canned under vacuum remains safe for long period. By using chemical preservative, the method of food preservation with the help of chemical is called chemical preservation, and a chemical substance which prevent the spoilage of food material by the food spoiling microorganism, and it is called food preservative. And mainly the chemical preservative that we use is the sodium benzoate, potassium metabisulfite. These are the common preservative that we can use for preserving the fruit juice and cut fruit jams and jellies. Next one is by vacuum packaging. Most of the snacks, particularly those contain oil, are nowadays in market sealed airtight packing. The air from such package is removed by evacuation and flushed with oxygen-free nitrogen. So nitrogen gas also we can use for preserving the food. So what are the advantages of this food preservation? Food preservation offer the following advantage. Very first, it decrease the food wastage. Second, it increase the storage period, or we can say shelf life of perishable food material. It ensure the availability of out of season food material. It ensure the availability of perishable food material even at distant places. So these are the advantages of the food preservation. Hope so about the concept of this microorganism and viruses is clear to all the student. Stay at home, stay healthy. Thank you.